One of the things that I've been so obsessed with this year is skin health and really being a ninja about what I'm putting on my skin, how my food is affecting my skin, how my breath is affecting my skin. And I really want to get out of having to wear makeup. I mean, let's be honest, I guess whatever. I could just be like hashtag self-love and never wear makeup. But the reality is I'm in front of the camera all the time. I'm on Instagram stories all the time. And so, yeah, wearing makeup has like that level of like, brings a little bit of confidence. But I had this feeling a couple months ago, like I just really want to pay attention to my skin and get my skin feeling as healthy as possible to the point where I can just wake up, moisturize my skin and just have oh, I just feel so good. And so I brought on today one of my really good friends, Kayleigh. Here's the raddest part about this. Kayleigh started ClearStem and I started Not Hungry for Happiness. I started Pause Breathwork literally in the same month, it felt like. Her and I were both at an event together. Pays to Be Brave by Angie Lee in like 2017 or 2018 or something. And we were both like, I was like coming out of Hungry for Happiness going into Pause, and she had just started ClearStem. And so what I love about this interview is we touch on really expanding our world as female entrepreneurs and how we can really set these beautiful visions and step into them and give ourselves permission. And a lot of what we talk about in this episode is who we have to become in order to build these missions and just, give ourselves like that, hey, you got this. Because no one's going to come to be like, hey, it's your time to do this now, or like, you're the one to do this, or you're now good enough to do this, right? It's like we have to give ourselves that permission. And so much of what I share and we talk about in this episode, and Kayleigh shares some her personal experience, is who we have to be in order to bring these missions to life. She's a very mission-driven woman, and I'm so excited for you guys to get a little taste of that. The other thing that we talk about is skin health and skincare and what is affecting our skin, what is giving us acne. For those of you who are listening and acne has been something that you've been struggling with, this episode is for you. I can remember when I first moved to San Diego, I was struggling so much with acne. And it's just, when you have acne going on your face every single day, it's disheartening. It's hard to deal with. You're always thinking about like, what does my face look like? Are other people judging me? And so what I love about Kayleigh's approach is she just strips it down and gives us really tangible reasons as to what might be causing the acne. Kayleigh is creating a paradigm shift in skincare. She is the co-founder of ClearStem, and she gave me some products to try before this interview. And oh my gosh, I am sold. They are so good. She has a background in integrative health, and she was a nutritionist. And so she really takes a holistic approach to anti-aging and acne support and really created this epic product line that is in Whole Foods and Erewhon that is revolutionary because they not only touch upon acne, but also anti-aging, which is two big pain points for, women, especially my age or your age. Kayleigh's influence also extends beyond ClearStem. She's an investor and advisor to many health-centric businesses. Kayleigh empowers other entrepreneurs with essential strategies for exponential growth in business, health, relationships, and beyond. I know you guys are going to love this episode. All right, let's dive in.
Can't be contained.
That's what I'm talking about. Yo, quick question for you. Have you ever felt that feeling inside of your body like, there's something more to life? Like, yes, your life is great, but there's this little voice inside of you that's like, there's something else that my soul is meant to be doing. Maybe you're literally crushing it as a life coach, helping clients shift their mindsets, but deep down, you know that you're only scratching the surface. What you really desire is to take your clients deeper. You want to ultimately take yourself deeper. That's exactly why I want to tell you about the Pause Breathwork Facilitator Training. This is our 6-month journey that doesn't just teach you how to lead powerful breathwork sessions. It helps you heal your self-doubt, step into your confidence, and truly build a business doing the work that actually lights you up. This training is done fully online, so you can do it from the comfort of your own home. do it wherever you are. And here's the best part. It doesn't just stop at breathwork techniques. There's a full-on business accelerator that's actually built into the program. So you'll know exactly how to attract clients, host retreats, and even bring breathwork into corporate spaces. If you've been feeling stuck, or you're not living up to your true potential, this is your sign. Head on over to www.pausebreathwork.com/facilitator. That's pausebreathwork.com/facilitator. And I would love to mentor you into your greatness. All right, guys, let's get back into today's show. Kayleigh, I'm so stoked you're on the Can't Be Contained podcast. Selfishly, I'm just so stoked to catch up with you because I freaking love you. And you're one of these people in my life where every time I see you, I'm like, ah! I just
want to hug you all the time.
I'm like, I'm obsessed with you. And then like months go by and I'm like, we should probably hang out more. So anyway, I'm so grateful that you're on the show. And I'm so stoked to just like really dive into all things wellness, all things skincare. And you are the woman for the job.
Thank you.
I have this like very clear memory, babe, of us in 2018 at the Pace to Be Brave event. And it was like right when you and Danielle were starting ClearStem. And I was still running Hungry for Happiness at that point.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I hadn't even launched fully Pause. So maybe it was 2017. When did you guys start ClearStem?
End of 2017. So I think it might have been very beginning of 2018.
Okay.
We're end of 2017. We started like mid to end 2017.
Maybe it was. It was like you guys were like new. Yeah. And I was just thinking about shutting down Hungry for Happiness and starting Pause. But we both have been on this like beautiful entrepreneurial journey sort of alongside each other, you building ClearStem, me building Pause. And it's just, I had this moment yesterday or a couple days ago where, when was this actually? Last week, maybe 2 weeks ago, whenever it was. I was up at my girlfriend Kathy Heller's place in LA. And obviously when you're in LA, you have to go to Air One and get a $27 smoothie and wait fucking half an hour to get it. It's just like, obviously. And so as I was waiting half an hour to get this goddamn smoothie, I was strolling through the aisles. And what did I see?
Oh my gosh, you're sus.
And dude, I literally cried. I sat there in the aisle. It makes me emotional now, staring at your product. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is what's possible when there's a woman who believes in her dreams so much and nothing gets in her way. And she just fucking goes for it. And you are that. And so I'm so proud of you. It was such a like, wow moment for me.
Thank you so much. And I mean, I feel like I'm a woman that can't be contained. Like really, I connect so much with your podcast title. It's just like, yes, we are not meant to be contained. And that's what happens when you're not put in a box and you get to actually flourish and really believe that anything is possible. I still get emotional. We live about like less than a mile from an Air One here in LA. And I still get emotional seeing it every single time we're in there. It feels really surreal. That felt like I had idolized like Air One for so long, especially like when I used to live in San Diego. Like Air One is just like, it's idolized and actually having products in there feels so surreal. But at the same time, I feel like it's this launch pad for anything's possible.
100%. Do you double your prices once they're in Air One? Because that's just what everything.
They raise it a little bit.
There's literally this Instagram account that like goes to like Whole Foods and like buys like a bag of chips and then goes to Air One. They're like, why is it double the price? Can anybody tell us?
They buy from us at wholesale cost that everyone buys from, like all of our estheticians and clinics and resorts, but they tinker with it a little bit. But hey, they've built the brand name.
Yeah,
built the brand likeness to everything. They've done it.
It just feels better to go in there and just pay a little more. You know what I mean?
It's like there might be some like extra fairy dust in it. ClearStem might work better if you buy it from Air One. I don't know. Like you might get amazing results buying online, but then you buy an Air One, just like a little more amazing results.
Your wrinkles will definitely go away quicker if you buy it from Air One versus Whole Foods. Eric always is like, why do you go there? I'm like, it's a spiritual experience and I can't explain it. Like, I'm sorry. I just can't explain it. He's like, it's
Also,
so
like,
dumb.
I don't know about you, but I'm so overwhelmed by grocery stores. Like now when I go in larger grocery stores, I'm very just inundated with like lights and sounds and how many things are in there that it's more of a calming experience being in Erewhon.
100%. That's what I mean.
Peaceful.
It's a spiritual experience.
Yes,
Yeah.
spiritual.
It's like, I want to put my body in environments that feel luxurious and beautiful constantly. And Erewhon is just like on that list. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What are we going to do?
What are we going to do? I don't know. We're just going to like work harder, be more uncontained so we can make more money and fucking buy $27 smoothies at Erewhon. I mean,
exactly.
God, don't kill me, you know? There's worse things.
We just want it all. Yeah. We just want it all.
Because I want it all. Okay, so talking about can't be contained, there's a quality that you have which allows you to have the belief in yourself to be like, oh, despite the fact that there's 100 skincare brands, I'm going to create the best one and I'm going to do it this way. And when I really get into like the psychology of leaders and founders and entrepreneurs, everyone has almost like an identity that they believe to be true about themselves in order to like make that happen. You know, it's like, you know, it's like me coming on the scene being like, I'm doing breath work now. It's like, who am I to do that? Well, I gave myself that permission. And so my question to you is, because there's so many women that listen to the show who are either early stage entrepreneurs or they're just thinking about it. What are some words of advice that you embody for you to just to say, you know what? I don't care if it's done before. It's not been done this way, and this is what I'm going to do. So yeah, talk a little bit about that.
You know that book starts with why?
Oh yeah. Let's go, Simon Sinek.
Yeah. So I remember reading it maybe 10 years ago at this point. And this was when I was working. So I was working a full-time job. I had just started ClearStem. I had my blog for a few years. I think I like had my podcast around this time, and I was doing stuff on Instagram, you know? So essentially 5 different things. And I remember reading that thinking like, this isn't, how am I supposed to pick one thing to bring all my energy to? Also, I don't know what that is yet. And again, 10 years ago, I'm like 23 years old. So like maybe I think I was like 24 at this time. And I just remember being like, no chance. Like I have so many things on my plate and like not one of these makes like sustains my life the way I want it to, or gives me like the full bucket of passion and sustains my life, right? Yeah. It's like, you know, I want the money to sustain my life, but also the thing that lights me up the most. And I was like, there's too many things that light me up. And then I feel like as I started to dive more into myself, my passions, things started just falling off kind of naturally. Yeah. So all of a sudden, like ClearStem became such a mission where we could help the most amount of people. Like there are so many women, men, children, moms, dad, like struggling with acne. And it's so
such a high pain point. And it's like when you have acne, you're like, I will do anything. I remember those days. Like I had like a guttural, like I will do anything. Yeah.
Anything to fix it. Cause it's like, it's on your face. It's mental. It's how you feel about your, like, it is so engulfing of like who you are, how you see yourself. And so ClearStem just started to be rooted in such a passion. And I started to feel like I could really make a difference. And the more time I just started dedicating to that, all of a sudden, I think the first thing to go was, I think my blog was the first thing to go. Cause I'm like, okay, I can't dedicate all my time to ClearStem and be writing. I mean, you know, like writing a blog is literally a full-time job when you're writing, editing, photographing. Like it's a whole thing. So that was the first thing to go.
You and Angie both. That blog life.
There's so many times where I still wish I had it, but I genuinely knew like my brain like couldn't sustain both at all. So that was the first thing to go. And then it was my full-time job because I was finally able to make enough of a salary from ClearStem. And then it was the podcast. And then I was so all in. I'm at the point where I want to start adding things back in, but that's once we've gotten ClearStem to this point. And when I reflect on the reading starts with why, being like, how could I ever just pick one thing? And then fast forward, I just feel like I'm so in my zone of genius now. I truly feel that when you just trust yourself and your gut and where life is taking you, where like truly yourself is telling you you need to spend the most amount of time, just keep doing it. And I love to put horse blinders on. I don't listen to anything anyone else says. I really don't. I'm very unbothered by it.
So
like, I feel
good.
like I know
So good.
in me, like I know what feels right. So I'm always operating from a place of what feels right. And I'm so purpose driven of how I can make a difference in other people's lives. And that's really what drives me in any category of life. And so that just started to become so clear. Never, honestly, truly, never once did I question so many other people have a skincare company or look at all the skincare that's
So
sold
good,
at
babe.
Ulta
That's
and
so good.
Sephora. Why me? And I try to reflect back. I'm like, how did I never think that? Like, why did that thought never come into my head? And I believe it's because our ClearStim is tied to education. So like, I always love to say education is our first product and what we offer people and how we can make the biggest change. And I didn't feel like anyone could do it like me. Even if they were saying the same exact information somewhere else.
You were you. Yeah.
I was me.
I feel the
So
same.
So I don't absorb other people's content when it comes to skincare at all, because I noticed that really affects how I communicate or how I want to communicate, or it overwhelms me to be like, oh, someone else is saying it, so now I'm not going to say it. I notice that if I pay attention to content, I'm like, oh, enough people are already saying it. So I really think it's best to just not follow and absorb any of that content. Put your horse blinders on and just keep doing you without looking at anyone else.
This is one of the most underrated pieces of advice ever. Thank you so much for saying it. One of my really good friends, her name is Sunny Lenarduzzi, and she's an amazing entrepreneur.
I love that name, by the way.
I know, she's great. Like
hey.
her name's Sunny, and she is just sunny. Like she's just like bright, and she's amazing. And like that was one of the things that she said as well. Like when I first started entrepreneurship, she's like, stay in your own lane, stay in your own lane, stay in your own lane, you know? And it's like looking at my Instagram feed, it's like, I follow people who do pottery because I'm into pottery right now. I follow people
Me too.
Shut up. Oh my God, dude, I got my nails off because I was so obsessed with it.
I literally started chopping mine too, because I'm like back on the wheel and I'm like, it's like messing with me pulling the pot.
Yes. Oh my God.
I love pottery. It's like one of my favorite things.
Obsessed.
And I just got back into it a few weeks ago after being like, I haven't done it since like 2018, I think, is like when I did it last.
Oh my God. It is the best thing ever. Okay. So, oh my God. I love that you're into
this
it
now
too.
is turning into a pottery episode, everyone.
We're like, never mind about skincare. Okay. Anyway, pottery. We're like, pivot.
It's so meditative.
Oh,
like,
dude, it's so good.
It's so meditative. You're not on your phone. Your brain, your the breathing process through.
I literally breathe as I'm like,
you can't pull a pot and lift it without breathing. Like if you're not connected to your body, like it's going to show up in the pot.
100%. Oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with this. Okay, we gotta like text each other out like what we make. I signed up for this like I go every week. I have a teacher every single week. I'm so obsessed with it. I'm like, I'm gonna do this until I die. Like it's the best thing ever.
I cannot wait until I can buy a potter's wheel and a kiln. Like
I was literally thinking that is my next investment. I'm gonna put in my backyard.
Me too. Cool. When you do your research for which wheel you're buying, will you send me links?
100%.
Just drop me all the links.
Hang out and pot all day, okay?
Dude, I'm in.
We're going to be like 50, 60. We're going to sell our companies and we're just going to have all this money and just like do pottery. That sounds like a great life.
That's actually my goal. I just want to literally do pottery all day.
Oh my gosh, this is so good. I love this for us so much. I'm so glad we connected on this. Well, and so it's like, I don't follow other breathwork people. You don't follow other skincare people. I don't follow people that are like, or if I like follow them, I'll like mute everything. Cause I'm like, I don't want to be inundated with I want my own channel to be open and I want my ideas to feel like mine. And even like if I have like a drop and I'm like, oh, that feels so good. I don't want to be like, oh, but when Wim Hof was talking about that a couple months ago, I don't want to touch that. It's like, no, that's my thought and I can do it in my way. And so I just love that you're like, I didn't even think about all the other skincare brands. Like that's so great.
Cause that thought does come in. Like when I I'm human, I slip up. So when I am on social and I'm like a lot of content, one right after another is like health content, right? It's like we're talking about like detoxing or acne or like supportive to your liver, all of that stuff that we talk about for ClearStem. I notice when I absorb too much of that content, I really genuinely feel that like I can't talk about it anymore.
Yeah.
Like I feel that shift in my brain and I catch myself. I'm like, oh, I'm absorbing too much content because
100%.
there's nothing wrong with me also talking about it. I'm just feeling that way because I just watched 15 accounts in a row all talking about the same thing because of the algorithm. So it's creating this like echo chamber of making
100%.
it feel like everyone's talking about it, when in reality, if you step out of that, step out of the algorithm, not that many people are talking about it. And you still are an important voice to talk about it because of your perspective and the way you educate, the way you teach. Like every teacher is different and and like think about all the teachers you had growing up in school, the ones you maybe connected with or didn't connect with. I'm sure there's ones you didn't connect with that other people loved that style. So
100%.
like everyone is a unique teacher and communicator that is going to connect with their people because we all think and absorb information differently.
100%. And I think when we like strip it down, what this comes down to is like everyone valuing their freaking selves, like realizing that like I'm amazing and what I have to say is amazing and how I say it is amazing and my energy is amazing. And it's really that, because if we believe that with every single cell of our being, we're not going to have well, they're doing it, I can't do it. You know what I mean? It's like, well, they just decided that they were the one to do it. So you should go do it. Yeah. It's just amazing. What else is in there that you believe to be true about yourself as your company grows and your mission grows and your team grows? And
something cool we've recently we've been going through a brand refresh this past year. And a big portion of that is collecting all of our information and putting it in ways that are really easy for the consumer to understand and connect with. I think we had a really strong ability in the beginning for it, but the bigger we've grown, we have more things to talk about, more products to talk about. So it was kind of reeling everything in. And I feel really strongly about people and companies communicating their mission and then living up to their mission and sticking to it. And so we've redefined all of our company missions, which aren't different from anything we've been doing the last 7 years. It's just essentially a more enhanced version of it to communicate it properly and to make sure that everyone else has buy-in to it. I think that's one of the best things I learned from our executive coach is getting other people's buy-in and making sure that they are a part of the mission and the values. And in order to do that, you have to have it written down to communicate it somewhere. So really organizing all that information. So I really believe it to be true. The way we formulate, I feel so strongly about formulating with no pore-clogging ingredients. And no known like toxic irritants, allergens, like any of those things that are going to harm people's health in any way. Even the way we look at like different fragrant profiles. So we're using like essential oils and extract blends and things like that to bring joy to people's life, but without any of the synthetic toxic things that we don't want to be adding on our body. But I feel so strongly because I see the way that acne is handled when someone's at their wit's end and they go into the dermatologist's office, and old school derms can sometimes make people feel really gaslighted and not seen for the health struggles that they're going through. And so I feel it so strongly to my core to be that safe space for people, whether it is through our products or through our education, or even just being able to share their journey and connect with other people to get life advice of like struggling with acne for decades.
Or like you go to a dermatologist when you're 14 with a face full of acne. They're like, birth control or Accutane? What do you think?
And that's all.
That's it, guys. That's all she wrote. God, it was so awful, man.
Yeah. And there's just no other alternatives through there. And so I believe one of my big missions is shifting the narrative of that and helping people open their eyes to root and systemic issues going on in the body that manifest as acne. And
let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. What are those?
So besides pore-clogging ingredients, that's definitely the biggest external cause of acne. And anyone listening who's currently struggling with acne, or if you don't believe your skin is acne, but you have those like textured bumps that still clogged pores, you always want to start with removing pore-clogging ingredients from skincare, makeup, and replacing with non-pore-clogging options. We have a great checker. If you're like, I don't know where to go, we have a great checker on our website for this, a free checker. You can just copy and paste ingredient decks in, and it'll highlight in red.
Clearstem.com, right?
Yep, clearstem.com. I believe it's under resources, and then pore-clogging checker.
Great.
Pore-clogging ingredients
guys,
checker.
I'll put the link in the chat box, in the show notes for you guys.
So you can check everything there and make sure you're eliminating the external factors, because you can do all the amazing things internally for your body, but if you're still externally clogging it, you're just going to keep perpetuating the cycle and not be able to get clear. So tackling that first and then moving to the internal component. The main internal components have been excess supplementation, specifically through, and keyword excess here, vitamin D, zinc, and B12, all three of those in excess amounts.
Got it. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and it can raise testosterone levels and cause hormonal acne. So cause hormonal imbalance and hormonal acne.
Which is the chin acne, right?
Yes. Yep. A lot around the chin, around where you have a goatee, a little under your jawline too. So
goatee acne. We can call it that.
And the reason why we didn't have this issue 10 years ago with excess supplementation is there weren't like everyday products that just threw in excess supplements. Like before, the only supplements you'd take would be like physical supplement bottles, pills, liquids.
Totally.
But now it's in like a green juice. It's an immunity drink. It's in your protein bar. There's like 50 whatever of B12, you know?
Yeah, and you're like, why do I need that in my chocolate?
It's just in so many things unnecessarily. So we're getting these high doses and it's really throwing our levels off. And then biotin is in that category too. Biotin doesn't control hormone levels though. It is basically, it produces more skin protein. So someone who's acne prone is already producing a lot of skin protein. That's why your pores clog faster. But with biotin, it's speeding that up. So it's going to clog pores faster.
Interesting.
So those are the big ones that like we're physically doing, like, right, we're physically taking supplements. The two biggest foods to look out for, dairy is a huge, huge one.
Really?
And mainly cow dairy. A lot of people are fine with goat or sheep.
Even if you don't have like a dairy intolerance?
Yeah. So it's a great question. It's the growth hormones in dairy that cause the acne. But if you're someone that eats dairy, like anyone listening or you saying, like if you eat dairy every single day and your skin is you're not struggling with acne, you don't need to stop. This is only for people who are like currently struggling and you're trying to look for those things that could be the culprits, right?
I put heavy cream in my coffee every single morning. And I eat a lot of cheese quesadillas.
Yum. By the way, cream is so good.
Dude, I know. I'm like, where have you been all my life, cream?
Dude, my like secret guilty pleasure is cream. And like, I can't like dairy for me when my gut and health was a wreck. I couldn't do dairy for a long time, but thankfully I've been able to bring it back in, which a lot of people can. That's the cool part is like acne is manifesting because there's inflammation in the body. It's typically something with your gut, your digestive system, hormones are off. And so many different foods are going to trigger it, but that doesn't mean you have to give up those foods forever. It's like, let's get to a good baseline, bring them back in. And maybe it's something like you don't bring in every single day and it's a few times a week or it's viewed as a treat. Like for me, cream is a treat because if I do have it every single day, I will break out, but I can have it 2 to 3 days a week and it literally feels like dessert in my coffee. And it's like a special little treat for myself.
Totally.
That's the way I love to look at these things is like, things aren't like that you have to remove forever. I mean, pore-clogging ingredients, yes. The over-supplementation, you don't want to throw off all these levels in your body. But as far as acne triggering foods, because eggs are really up there too. Like I would say dairy is the number one biggest trigger of acne and eggs are number 2. But that doesn't mean you can't ever have eggs again. They are such a trigger just when everything else is heightened. And so,
I got it.
Yeah. So those
is there a way to like test these levels in our body? Like what would be like the test for this to see if these levels are heightened?
Honestly, an elimination test is the best because these aren't allergies per se. So again, back to the lactose thing. It's what causes acne with consuming dairy is the IG1. It's the insulin-like growth factors that are in it. So the insulin-like growth factors basically have an effect on our testosterone and blood sugar levels. And so it's raising testosterone levels because of the insulin-like growth factors. When testosterone levels are raised, it's producing a really thick, sticky oil and sebum that gets in our pores and gets stuck and develops more cystic-like.
Okay.
Yeah. But like when hormones are super balanced and your health is feeling good, you can deal with insulin like growth factors every once in a while, and your body just knows what to do with it. So it's more of like, where is the toxic load of your body at that time? Something to consider too, the week before our periods, our testosterone levels are already high and our toxic loads are a lot more sensitive, right? Like things are making us bloated. We're tired. Our mood's a little wonky, to say the least.
What are you talking about? I'm so chill. Okay. My husband's always like, oh, you're doing that again this month? He's like, no. He goes, this is so hard on both of us.
I always warn David, I show David this chart on my Flow app because it'll like show you the waves of hormones and it'll basically tell you like your tank is empty right before. I'm like, can you look? Like I have nothing to like support my hormones or energy or like ability to handle stress right now. Like my tank is zero.
Yeah. I need to do Eric the visual because he's a visual guy. I'm gonna be like, look it, don't bug me.
Yeah.
Okay? I got demons in my body. I literally feel like a psychopath sometimes. I have to like really calm myself down. Like a couple, like it's been particularly bad in the last 12 months where I have to sit there and be like, you are not a psychopath. You are not a psychopath. Yeah, I talk to myself like, you are actually really amazing. Don't let these thoughts tell you any different. You're amazing. And like it gets really bad.
I love that so much. It's so weird to say that because I do feel like in the last year, like it's been mood for me the week before. Dude, like I feel like a terror.
Same. I'm like, is this my body just being like, put a baby in me, bitch?
Yeah. I know. Is like our body just gonna like continue to like just lash out at us the week before our period because we haven't had babies yet?
That's what my mom says, but that's like on her timeline and agenda. I don't know if that's actually true. She's like, it's because your body wants a baby. I'm like, no, bitch, it's because you want a grandchild. Shut up.
That's such a mom and grandma thing to say. Like any little thing, they're just like, it's because you haven't had a baby yet.
My mom's literally at my house right now. Hopefully she can hear me. She's downstairs.
Moms are so funny with the way they want babies.
So good. That's so good. So if we were to go into like the top 3 things that cause acne, number 1, pore clogging ingredients. Number 2, the foods that we eat. What would be like a third?
The third would be the supplements. Yeah, it's like, but if we want to loop those into like things that we're consuming, the fourth one. So this is what's been really interesting. So we launched our acne lab test about a little over a year ago now, I guess a year and a half, where we actually do blood work for people who are struggling with acne.
That is incredible.
It was my passion project for so long, and I was beyond excited when we got to launch it because eliminating pore cloggers, eliminating the excess supplementation, and eliminating the food, like the top foods that trigger acne, that truly clears acne for 90% of people. Like it's so crazy. Like if you can just stick to it for, with the eliminations, 60 days, it's so crazy what you see. But there is that 10% of people that it is systemic. It has been in them, like the toxic overload. And I wanted to help these people on a greater scale. And for that, they genuinely need more one-on-one support and we need blood work to see what's going on.
Yeah.
So the craziest patterns show up. But it's the same patterns over and over again. And we've done at this point, thousands of panels, same patterns showing up. We're just seeing them in wild levels. Big one is infection, underlying infections that have been around for 10 plus years. This isn't like a viral infection where you're like getting sick, but it is an infection that's manifesting as acne. So the same way you get like a respiratory infection or a sinus infection, this is an infection that's coming out through your skin is acne. And so we have some herb protocols that we recommend for that. Mold is a really big one.
That's like a big thing in San Diego. I used to live here, you know, it's like, you're like, I don't feel that good. And then you get a mold. Like, luckily we don't have it in this house, but the amount of my friends that have had mold in their house that's had an impact on their skin, their health, their breathing, everything. Like,
And also like that's what like really sucks is like sometimes it's in the house and sometimes there's things you can do about it. Like getting air purifiers and taking regular supplements that just support your body's ability to get rid of the toxic load. Because at the end of the day, like we can't escape from mold. It's just about like how bad is it in your house and how is your body dealing with a lot of other inflammation where it cannot filter out that mold that's coming in. And so we see a lot of immune and inflammation and basically all of this contributes to a toxic overload bucket. So one at a time, these things are like our body is built to filter things out.
For sure.
But when too many of these things stack up on top of the climbing stress of just being a human in 2025.
Living in LA and having your entire city burned down like you right now.
Exactly.
Like,
exactly.
that's a lot. Yeah.
It's a lot. Like emotional stress, everything. Like this all contributes to our toxic overload. A lot of bacteria, fungus, yeast, a lot of issues with blood sugar stabilization, a lot of heightened blood sugars, which again, dairy plays a role in it because dairy increases blood sugar. Heavy metals, parasites, and liver stress. So with all of these, the blood work tells us it's never just one, it's usually multiple. And we have different protocols, and we have a team that creates custom protocols as well. We have a membership that people get free access for 3 months where we have videos explaining everything, weekly office hours where they can chat with all of our acne specialists. They can schedule one-on-ones if they want to dive deeper. They can ask questions in the chat. So a more of a support system because going through the acne protocol, it is 3 months of being on a specific regimen of supplements. And sometimes there's purging from it because when your body is detoxing heavy metals, parasites, mold, and what I love, because again, I love community. So what lights me up is like looking at that chat group and seeing so many people helping other people. So there'll be some person that's like, I just started to purge. And then you'll see other people chime in. Don't worry, like we're here to support you. Like it only lasted 2 weeks. Like I know it sucks, but like I promise like it gets better on the other side. And they'll like it's your body just getting rid of it. But once it's out, like you're just cleansing the body right now. And so like, it's just so fun to see everyone who's gone through it helping some of the newer people. And that was my vision from it from day one. Like I want a place where everyone can share about what they're going through and help each other through it.
Can you make a correlation or argument between breathwork and skin health? Like, is there a correlation there?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So stress, of course, contributes to that toxic overload and as well as oxygen in our body. When we have a lack of oxygen, our body can't kill off parasites and mold and help infections. And we need proper oxygen to do that. And we try to eliminate our overall stress load and focus on things that we can control. So I can't control the fires in LA. I can't control something happening to your family, losing a job, but you can control your breath.
100%.
And that is such a contributor to stress. And so when we can just bring down that stress and toxic overload bucket, when we can just help lower it, we can do that through breath work. And that is something we can control.
What about temperature? What is the best for the skin? I was in the sauna the other day and I was like getting in the mindset to interview you. And I'm like, what do I want to ask her about? And I was sitting there in the sauna and my face was like burning hot. And I'm like, is this good for my skin?
Such a good question. So when it comes to water, like washing your face in water, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely no hot water. Hot water. Yeah. No hot water on your face. Steam is fine. Steam is fine. But like from a safe distance, steam is fine. So hot water directly on your face, whether it's at the sink or the shower, it causes damage to the skin. Skin cannot heal in a damaged environment, which means it makes wrinkles develop faster and deeper. It makes pigmentation stick around because pigmentation is scar damage. So it makes pigmentation stick around and it does not create an environment for scars to heal or acne to heal.
Okay,
so
like how
adding
about
more information.
Like are we talking like burning or are we talking like
anything above like like what you'd wash a baby with?
Okay.
Lukewarm. Anything above that is going to be damaging for the skin. So
Wow.
if you
Okay.
like hot showers, that's fine. Just leave your face out of it. Something I do, like when my fiance and I are showering together, I have the shower so much cooler because I've like trained myself over the years. So if I'm showering alone, like I'm fine with lukewarm water and I've just like adjusted. He loves it so hot. And so we cater a little more towards him in the shower. I'll either not wash my face in the shower or I'll like wet my hands in it and then kind of rub my face.
Got it.
But I
Okay.
won't, because then it like cools down for a second,
Yeah.
but I'm not actually sticking my face in the hot water. That's what I'll do. So for the sauna though, it's good to either have a cold washcloth with you for your face or our skin spray. That's also really, really helpful because
So
that'll actually
before
help
I
cool
go
it
in,
down.
put it in or take it in there.
Take it in there.
Oh my God, amazing.
Yeah,
Okay.
or like leave it right outside and then grab it real quick. But that will actually help your face cool down. You want your whole body to heat up, but you don't want your face to heat up that much.
Okay, interesting.
So once it starts being like, my face is a little too hot, like you'll intuitively feel it, right? Either cold washcloth or the skin spray, and you can stay in longer that way and just keep cooling down your face.
That's genius.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So
I'm
really
going to be your
helpful.
biggest customer of that spray. I love that spray.
And it feels so good in the sauna too.
So awesome. Okay. That is really epic. What are your thoughts on those like really intense, like facials, like the halo facial or like the lasers or stuff like that?
I'm not a fan of most lasers. I'm not a fan of lasers that incorporate heat.
Okay.
So my favorite facials treatment for scar damage, for wrinkles, for lifting, for anti-aging, all the things. I love microneedling. I love microneedling with PRP or with like a stem cell serum, something like that. Huge fan of. Not a huge fan of any of the microneedling with radio frequency, which is heat. The reason why is like in their case, like if you listen to any education around it, they'll say like the heat causes damage to the skin, which then promotes collagen growth. So it's going to grow more collagen in these areas. But everyone's skin is a little different. And I think the heat is causing too much damage.
Yeah.
I like damage through the needles. I think that's great. Like the microneedling, that's the perfect amount of damage. But the needles and the heat, I think it's just like a little too far gone. It's basically, in my opinion, it's like running a marathon once a month and not doing anything else. So you're like destroying your body, but you're not doing anything else around it to support it, where it's just too damaging.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So not a fan of, like the Morpheus or any of the other, it's basically microneedling with radio frequency. There's just so many brands that are doing it now, but it's all the same thing essentially.
Yeah.
And heat burns fat and we want fat in our skin. We like, you have people injecting fillers to try to put it back in. Like, we want to keep and preserve as much fat in our face as possible because fat is like youthful, right? For the face. Yeah.
Right. What's your thoughts on Botox?
Personally, not a fan. I think if someone was like, I can't live without it, I'd say get it once a year. Like that would be my solution. I think it contributes to the toxic overload. So where are you at with everything else and how often are you getting it? That's what I would ask. Because we're all doing things that contribute to our toxic overload. It's just about when, where, and how. So if you do genuinely like it paralyzes the muscles and it new pathways grow in its place, essentially. Like, so when it's quote wearing off, it's really just new pathways activating. Yeah. But it's still a neurotoxin and it's still a little like, it's a little close to the brain. But again, I think it's the frequency at which people are getting it done because people will get it done like every 8 weeks. I am not a fan of that.
Crazy.
Yeah. It limits blood flow to those areas. So like any area of your body where you're limiting blood flow, it will cause aging because you can't get like oxygen there.
And doesn't it fuck with the fat too? Like, doesn't it? Okay.
Everything like displaces kind of different. And I microchannel the shit out of my face.
What is microchannel?
So it's, there's a lot of devices, but it's basically, it's microcurrent. So it's sending those like electronic pulses for stimulation and it helps with lifting, and tightening.
Oh, is that brand? Is it called New Face? Is that the one you're talking about?
New Face is one. Zip is another. There's one. Hold on. I just bought one recently and I always forget the name because it's almost like such an obvious name, but it's one of the strongest one.
Yeah.
It's like Microcurrent Pro or something.
Yeah.
My girl that I go and get Pure Lift Pro.
Pure Lift Pro. Okay. We're all putting it in our Amazon carts now.
I will say it's probably the most expensive one, if not similar to New Face.
Yeah.
But I've researched all of the wavelengths of all of them, and it is the strongest one.
Okay.
Which means like, for instance, the Zip, you'll have to use the Zip like 50 times to equal like one of this. Right. And so it's all about like convenience, right? And doing it. So my eyebrows, of course, like everyone else's is uneven. Like one arches more than the other. So I'll like microcurrent one side a tiny bit more to like even them out and kind of just like lift up here.
Yeah.
I like love my forehead because I'm just like, lift it up. Get this. I have hooded eyes and I'm just like, lift this all up. But it helps like obviously like naturally tighten all the muscles to lift it all up instead of inhibiting muscles and causing weakness over time and lack of oxygen over time. So it's a better long-term solution. If you want a little bit of Botox, like proportioned correctly before your wedding, because you don't have to stress about one more thing. Sure. It's like drinking some alcohol. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's still a toxic overload. It's just when and where and how often, like just think about it.
Pick your poison, ladies. Pick your frickin' poison.
Exactly. I'm not here to judge on like which poisons we all pick that we want, you know?
One of my besties is one of my besties is crunchy as fuck. Jenna Kennedy, she's so crunchy.
Oh God, I love her so much.
Botox is the devil. If you get it, you will die. I'm like, yeah, maybe, but like, whatever.
I love her so much. And I appreciate that. Like, I love her. Yeah. I love her. I love when people feel strongly about something. It's like you know, we live better lives when we feel like a passion and purpose in life. And so
I don't think she's wrong either. I think it's probably more right.
Totally. I have gotten Botox before for reference. Like I'm not up here saying I've never gotten it before. And I've gotten it 3 times in my life. And every single time I'm like, there's been times where I'm like, oh yeah, I love this. And then I'm like, oh, I don't like this. So it's like, it's just.
I feel similarly. I got it probably like 5 times 3 years ago I stopped. Yeah. And I like in a couple of like photos, I'm like, oh, I got these like 11s right here, you know, that like kind of like add creases. And I'm like, so vain. It's so stupid. But I'm like, you know, it might be nice. There's a little pub, but I don't know. I like, but then I look at Jenna's Instagram story. I'm like, oh, maybe not. I don't know.
I know, right? Like literally say, like I have really hooded eyes. And the one time I got Botox, it really helped because like my hooded eyes kind of hurt being in front of a computer all day, genuinely.
Because it just goes like, boom.
Yeah. And it relieved the tension in my eyes. And like the tension in my eyes was getting really bad. And my computer time is not slowing down for a while. Like I just need to be honest of like where I'm at work-wise. And I'm looking forward to the day where my computer time slows down, but it's not realistic. And I had gotten Botox like last year, just one time. And it genuinely helped relieve the muscles in my eyes. And I'm like, okay, I know this isn't a long-term solution, but like, damn, did I like the short-term solution for a few months. Like, it was helpful. So it's just, you know.
Yeah, it's interesting. One of my girlfriends, she gets like severe headaches. And so she goes in every 6 months and they Botox her entire head, like everywhere on her skull. And if to get rid of your 11s, it's like 20 units or whatever. Yeah. She gets like 400. Yeah, for her headaches. It's wild. Helps? Oh, yeah, yeah. She like, it's completely eliminates her headache. She's like, she literally cannot survive without dimming it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, see, it's just like, there's just some things.
Like, there's some things, like, again, pick your poison, okay? Some people drink alcohol. I don't know. Don't see the point of that
Botox our heads.
Exactly. Oh my God. It's so funny. It's so funny. Dude, it's been such a pleasure reconnecting with you. Thank you so much for adding so much value. Your products are absolutely extraordinary. I feel like a couple weeks ago, I got a surprise little package from you with some of your products, which was actually the first time I've ever tried them. Isn't that crazy?
I love that. Yeah. It's so exciting.
Oh my gosh. And your moisturizer, I feel like my skin went like this.
It really does. It's a
what the heck
game
is in
changer.
it? Like,
It has 3 different hydration molecules for like short term, medium, long term. And it just, if you're dry skin like me, it just solves all of life's problems, it seems.
is hydration like the antidote to wrinkles? Like we get wrinkly
Yes.
because it's okay. So it's like
Yeah.
the more we keep our face moisturized, the more we can.
I'm glad you said that too, because for so long we've been conditioned to dry out acne. And one thing I do want to say is like acne needs proper exfoliation with proper hydration. So healthy and proper exfoliation, we have like our vitamin scrub, which is a physical scrub. And then our acid exfoliation is an AHA mandelic acid, which we love as like the healthiest, doesn't dry your skin out as much, but still like packs a punch. And so that's what actually helps unclog the pores. And then you need to hydrate like crazy.
Okay.
Because hydration is how your body heals. So it's how the pigmentation is going to heal, how the scars are going to heal, how the wrinkles are going to smooth out. Yeah. So we need that internal and external hydration for healing. And so that's the special thing about Clear Stem is it's helping with different skin issues like acne, scar damage, wrinkles, eczema, like irritations of the skin, while also protecting and rebuilding your skin barrier for optimal protection and healthy aging of the skin.
Tell me a little bit about, I was going to let you go. I'm like, no, stay. I have more questions.
Like, JK, we have more questions now.
I just want to honor our time. Are you okay to go a little bit over here?
I am. I'm going to check my calendar.
Minutes?
Yes, I'm good. Let's do it.
Okay, 5 more minutes because I have a really important question. Yes. Retinol. What's your deal? What's your advice on retinol?
Okay,
retinol, Retin A, all that stuff.
So immediate response, not a fan, and I'll share why. So mainly Retin A. So Retin A is the kind that you like go to the dermatologist, you get a prescription for. It's either in a gel or a cream form. The cream version of tretinoin, aka like Retin A, it actually has a notorious pore clogger in it. So the cream version is why people purge like crazy because the skin is over exfoliating at a hyper rate. And then the isopropyl myristate ingredient in the cream is reclogging the pore.
Oh my God.
It's so upsetting. So like if someone is obsessed and they're like, but I need to be on Retin A and you're on the cream version, just like at least get switched to the gel version. That's like the lesser of the evils, right?
Yeah.
So not a fan of that too, because it's not actually unclogging or dissolving the clog. All it's doing is hyper exfoliating and shedding the skin. So that doesn't help anything long-term. It's fresh new skin all of the time versus like an AHA mandelic acid is getting in the clog, dissolving it. So it's actually gone for good. Why I also don't like it because of the hyperexfoliation, your skin is always baby fresh and no one follows SPF directions correctly. No one is wearing it every single day and applying it every 2 hours when you're outside, which means you're getting a lot of damage to that brand new baby fresh skin. And it's actually causing accelerated damage and aging to the skin because people don't like, no one follows the proper directions. And if you do, amazing, but you are like the 1% of the 1%. People.
Okay.
If you do.
Yeah.
It doesn't play nice with other products. So you can't use any other acids with it. You have to take a really long break before going and getting like microneedling or skin treatment done because it's so damaging.
Like laser hair removal or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Retinols, there's a lot of brands like just on the shelf, right, that have created retinols. 1, still check for pore clogging ingredients. 2, it's not bad because usually they're really diluted and they're softer and they're gentler. Again, it's the misinformation around it. So still needing to wear a lot of SPF. And also not mixing the same day with another acid. So for example, if you have a retinol from a brand where it's gentler, it's nicer, you love it, don't go get our Clarity Serum and use them both in the same day.
Got it.
Or a glycolic toner or a glycolic serum. So you don't want to use salicylic, glycolic, or mandelic on the same day, but you can alternate. So you can do like 2 days a week your retinol and 2 days a week Clarity Serum because then you're hyper exfoliating and you're actually dissolving the clog. So
got it.
Totally. You can do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So many things. You're such a wealth of knowledge. Okay, last question, and I'm going to set you free into the wild. I was at my parents' house for Christmas, and 2 of my really close friends came over. They both have like the best skin ever, and I'm like, do you guys wear foundation? They're like, no, we don't need to. We got great skin. I'm like, oh, lucky you. They're like, you don't need. it either. And I'm like, I think I was just so used to wearing foundation my entire life that I just did. And it was just like, I didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
They're like, stop wearing it. I'm like, okay. So I stopped wearing foundation and my skin has gotten so much better. Like I can't believe it. I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, they're right. I didn't need foundation. What is that? Why does foundation make you look older?
I've also made this shift.
Okay, you did.
Yeah, I did. Like I'm wearing it right now just because like on camera, I feel like if something's being recorded, it like shows up a lot. Because I've done some podcasts and not worn makeup and I'm like, doesn't translate the same, isn't it? I still believe I still love myself and believe I'm beautiful, but I'm like, doesn't,
Especially when you have a skincare brand, the stakes are high.
I don't know. But like as far as like going out to dinner, like I've been totally rocking the no foundation look and the no makeup look and just like, really prepping my skin glowy with skincare and like, I'll do my hair, I'll get dressed and just wear no makeup and learn to feel so confident. But so 2 things with foundation and making you look older too. One, a lot of foundations do have pore cloggers. So they're getting in there and they're getting stuck and just filling up your pores, which can cause like texture to the skin, which doesn't make it. So even if you're not struggling with acne, it still like causes dullness to the skin. So it's going to overall create this like sheen of dull versus like a sheen of glow when you're not actively wearing it. But also even if it's not pore clogging, you're still like every single day putting something on your face that's just limiting it from breathing as much. Like it doesn't absorb in like skincare does. It's formulated to sit on top, right? Like we don't want our foundation absorbed in. Like, we want it to kind of sit on top for the effective foundation. So just overall, like creates a little bit of dullness to the skin. It like settles in the wrinkles and creases a little bit more. So I'm a huge fan of just feeling into yourself and like feeling confident, going out, like just, I'll do my eyebrows. I'll like put a little lip on, but I'll leave foundation off.
Yeah. The other night, Eric and I went on a date night and I wore zero makeup. I have my eyebrows microbladed. So it like kind of looked whatever that looks good, but I didn't wear anything else except for a little bit of lip balm. And he's like, you look so good. What did you do? And I'm like, oh, that was really sweet. I'm like, I didn't wear makeup. He's like, wow, you look so much better without makeup.
That makes me so, okay. David says the same exact thing.
Does he?
He'll always be like, I love you. He's like, I love you every single way, but like, I love you without makeup on. And I feel like we put this makeup on to like look a certain way, but just try it. Like everyone listening, like just try it.
Yeah.
I guarantee you the compliments are going to like come in. Not that we like live for compliments, but it feels nice. Words of affirmation, like, right? 100%. Like it feels nice.
100%.
Just try it. Like prep your skin with like the glowiest like skincare and like moisturize everything. And then just test it out. It's an amazing feeling.
It really is. It really is. It feels so fresh. It feels so real. It feels so. Is he still running Dream Pops?
Dream Pops, he sure is.
Oh my God, I love Dream Pops.
They're so good.
Out to Dream Pops.
My every evening snack.
Oh my gosh, we were wake surfing in Austin probably this time last year. Was it a little bit long? Maybe Jenna wasn't even pregnant. I don't think so. It was probably like a year and a half ago. And he just busted out the Dream Pops. I'm like, let's go.
Those are so good. And to have out on the lake when it was hot.
Oh my gosh, we gotta
ice cream.
We gotta do that again. And then when I went to your house, it was so cool. The room you're sitting in, I'm like, you look left, it's Claire Stem. You look right, it's Dream Pop. This is so cool.
We are the house of goods.
Oh gosh, that was so fun. Dude, I'm so happy we got to hang out today. This is so great. Everyone listening, go get yourself some Clear Stem. I have 15% off if you put the code in what is it?
Wait, I'm making, just Sam Skelly.
It's just that. I like second guessed myself. All right. The link to the Clear Stem website is in the show notes. Go check it out. I absolutely love the spray and their moisturizer. Kayleigh was kind enough to send that to me before this interview to try it out. And honestly, holy crap, I absolutely love it. Discount code for 15% off Clear Stem is Sam Skelly. Just type in Sam Skelly at checkout, you guys. Go get it. And also the pore-clogging ingredients checker. I will also put that in the show notes. It's a totally free resource and you guys can get amongst that and figure out how you're fucking with your skin. It's a technical term. I'm representing your brand so professionally, aren't I?
I'm obsessed. Quoted. Nice name's Kelly.
There's nothing professional about me. Okay. It's so funny when I like get DMs from people and they're like, you're so unprofessional. I'm like,
it's my
that's
favorite
such
part
a
of you.
compliment. Thank you.
I've never been seen so much before. Thank you for seeing me
I'm
for
like,
all that I am.
business needs to be serious. Let's just have fun, guys.
All the time.
Oh my gosh. Well, I love you. Thank you so much. Is there anything else that you'd like to share? Any other directions you'd like to direct people to?
Anyone who is currently struggling and just wants to get all the resources, we obviously talked a lot about in this podcast, but we do have additional, if you want to expand on anything on our blog, on our social, we are here as a safe space for acne and to truly help you get to your culprits and triggers so you can eliminate them and get clear skin. And just clear skin changes everything. It really does. So I've been there. I've dealt with really, really aggressive cystic acne in my life. And so it's what we're here to help with.
I love it. I love your mission. What's your mission on a Post-it?
A little bit of both, but really because clear skin changes everything. It's the education, the products, supporting people on their journey emotionally, physically, tactically, everything, because it really does change everything.
It really does. Yeah, I resonate. I just have so much compassion for the version of me that dealt with acne for so many years. Dude, before we go, it was kombucha for me. Like I stopped drinking, like I got to San Diego and I was like, I'm obsessed with kombucha. And I just started drinking it like crazy. And then I started breaking out like crazy. And I'm like, what is it? And then one of my friends was like, just cut out the kombucha. Maybe that's it. Acne gone.
I bet you it was just keeping your blood sugar heightened throughout the entire day and it was never coming down.
Probably.
But yeah. Cause do you know how much has come out about the mislabeling of kombuchas?
No.
Like how it was like 10 times the amount of sugar that kombuchas were like listing because it like wasn't properly tested.
Stop it.
Yeah. It's crazy. Like it used to say like 2 grams of sugar on it. It was like so wrong. So wrong.
Okay. That was it then. And that's probably also why I gained 20 pounds. Okay.
Kombucha, what the heck?
Here, I thought I was doing something great, but nope.
I know. Oh, me too. I was on the kombucha. I mean, you moved to San Diego and like.
Oh, you have to. It's the rite of passage.
Kombucha through the veins.
100%. Like put it in my face. Oh, Kayleigh, you're the best. I love you. Have an amazing rest of your day. You guys, thank you so much for listening. And go follow Kayleigh on Instagram. Go, like, if you loved this episode, just let us know. Write a review. It means a lot. I love you. See you later.
Can't be contained.